My son always praises you, Sachin.
In fact, I was just seeing Sachin's mail now. I was just writing to the SAFC staff.
I think you have mesmerized these youngsters, I think.
Not only youngsters, all. All are fan of you. All.
And we had the fortune of we had the fortune of listening to both Abhishek and Divya.
Thank you, Dada. We have to thank you for the opportunity.
Tomorrow onwards, this code now our code of conduct.
Correct.
So we wanted you. That's why we have preponed today.
Thank you, sir.
Krishna Janmashtami.
Our past chairman Praveen Shetty is also there. He is our statutory auditor of our Mangalore branch also.
Hello, Praveen sir. How are you, sir?
Praveen, unmute Madi.
No, not possible because he is not a host. So unless they are a co-host, it is not possible because A1 Logics they control this program, so as to whom to mute and to whom to unmute. So I think it is not presently possible for them. But yes. So today, in spite of our Sri Krishna Janmashtami, lot of members may present. So otherwise, I don't know. It would be many more or much more. So today, because in Mangalore, in almost all everyone's house, they will be celebrating. They asked us. We could have kept this meeting on some other day, but we told them yes, because of the code of conduct is issued from tomorrow. It is because of that it is not possible. But still, But both it is one subject is also very good, and our speaker is also after all doctor.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Abhishek sir.
Yes, sir. How are you, sir?
All good.
I heard your this one, sir, capital gains. Fantastic. You all spoke wonderful.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Many have praised also. Superb. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And you have answered also all the questions. And
thank you, sir. In fact, today we have another session on salary.
Yeah, I've seen it on salary computation of salaries. Yes. So that means you don't have rest. I think continuously from one after the other. You are working restless. I think after a few minutes some may join. We can start because Gautam.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
I'm not in a hurry, sir. We can wait. There's no problem. I'm not in a hurry. We can wait. There's no problem. We can start, I think. Gautam.
Okay, sir. We'll start.
Yeah.
A very good evening to one and all.
Yeah. Gautam.
Yes, sir.
One couple of minutes, 2 minutes, just last 2 minutes. And after we may speak for 3-4 minutes, then our session may start around 4:40 around or 4:38. Okay, just after 2 minutes will. Okay.
Nirmala Sitharaman is from your place, no?
Hyderabad, isn't it?
Madurai. Dungarchand Jain.
He is actually from the same place where my grandmother is from.
Oh, very nice. Then who made the mess? Whether Nirmala Sitharaman or Infosys?
The same locality actually, the families also. Actually, the problem. Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Okay. No, something it came in connection unstable like that. It came. No, I was saying that the problem is when Infosys is taken over, I think they did not realize the depth of the work. So many issues are there in this website. Even I doubt by whether 15th they'll be able to resolve it.
It is possible. These type of the works are not new to them. Even they have this one ministry, this one our company, this one portal also they only this one formed. So they must be knowing, no? Then
The thing is, in when TCS did it, they only created everything. Before TCS came, there was no background. Right from ground up, they did the old website. So they went from 0 to 100. Infosys is taking over at 100. So they have to build reverse. From 100, they have to build up to 0 that they don't know how to do. From 100, they will take to 200. But ground foundation, they are struggling. That is a problem. Basic things like when you are filing the return, some PAN mismatch is coming. Why it is coming? Someone knows. And then it is saying server not working when you are trying OTP. Very, very basic things.
Saravanan,
Gautam.
sir, will you start?
yeah, I will start, Gautam.
Yes, sir.
Because if there are more number of questions, then our Abhishek sir is having one more seminar from 7 o'clock.
No. I will plan. The session may not go beyond 1 hour. So questions we will have enough time, sir. That's not an issue.
Okay. We'll begin here. A very good evening to all the members, students present over here this evening. After the Golden Jubilee celebrations we had on 18, 19, 20th, this is the first virtual CPE meeting that the branch is hosting. And the branch has chosen the right person, the right man, an expert. He knows that expert. We had used a tagline, one who knows more and more of less and less. But when it comes to Abhishek Murli sir, it is one who knows more and more of more and more under the umbrella of direct taxes. So today he is here with us, and the session for the day is latest changes in the ITR and new development and solutions for the income tax portal. We are at the cusp of the month of August, and September is all set to welcome us. And with September, the thread of due dates is all set to welcome us. So, due to certain issues, as we discussed right now, the portal issues, the ministry has given some relaxation a couple of days back with regard to the due dates that were in the that were supposed to be tomorrow, and it has all been pushed to a future date as of now. And to address all these issues today, the branch and the chairman has chosen the right topic and the much needed topic to equip ourselves with all the requisite know-how when it comes to how to go about the income tax filing, the new ITR forms, as well as all the hues and cries of the new income tax portal. Today, the income, you ask anyone, they say, fine, no issues. There is some issues in the portal. So such is the magnitude of this income tax portal issue, that is the magnitude of the issue that has been brought up. And I welcome all of you, and I now request a branch chairman, K. Subramanya Kamath sir, to welcome the gathering.
Thank you, Gautam. Eminent speaker, Dr. C. Abhishek Murli sir, SIRC Secretary 2021, President All India Taxpayers Association, and galaxy of past chairman, dynamic committee members, immediate past chairman C.S.S. Naik sir, SICASA chairman Gautam Pai, and secretary C.A. Prasanna Chennai, and senior members from our fraternity, aspiring CAs, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you all. So at the outset, I would like to wish you all happy Krishna Janmashtami and I wish God bless us all with the good health and happiness. Members, all of us know that government wanted to revamp the website, that is income tax portal, but it has created lot of mess and their situation has become ridiculous. But still, it has become inevitable for us to understand what is our present situation, as the due date of submission of income tax is approaching. So we have to understand what is the present situation of portal and what we can do. If you do not understand what is the present situation of the portal, it may create lot of havoc. The present prevailing condition, because of the COVID and lockdown, our situation has become frustrated. Today, we have with us Dr. C.A. Abhishek Murali, SIRC Secretary 2021, President of All India Taxpayers Association, young dynamic person, and at a very young age, he has reached greater heights, and it may not be possible for any to reach that height. And because of his dynamism, he has won the heart of all members. Sir, I would like to welcome you to Mangalore branch, sir. Yeah. Today, in spite of his busy schedule, today he has agreed to come to our branch and to attend and deliberate on the subject latest changes in ITR forms and new development and solutions for income tax portal. Sir, Mangalore branch will be grateful to you, sir. Yeah. Members, we have already completed our national conference, that is from 18th to 20th of this August month, and we are going to have one more national conference for students, that is which will start on, it will be on 3rd and 4th. So it also will be on again virtual mode, that is you can from Zoom, and it starts from 2 o'clock and it will be up to 6:30 p.m. So all the students are participating in this from all the corners of our India. I request all the members of our branch to encourage and motivate the students to join this conference. Before to conclude my welcome speech, I would like to welcome all the aspiring CAs and members, and I hope you will enjoy this seminar and you will enlighten yourself with regard to the subject. And over to CA Gautam Pai.
Thank you, sir. Before we proceed any further, let me take the honor of introducing our resource person of the evening, Dr. C. Abhishek Murali, sir. I last time when he had come to Mangalore for our lockdown series, I told him he's not a youngster, he's a young star, and one more synonym for rank can be Abhishek Murali, because such is his glory and accolades that he has received. Congratulations, sir. So, Dr. Abhishek Murali is a practicing chartered accountant at Chennai, who is the partner of Messrs. Victor Grace and Co. He is the elected secretary of SIRC of ICAI for the year 2020-21. Dr. Abhishek Murali is the youngest elected regional council member of the SIRC for 2 terms in succession for a period of 6 years by securing the highest number of votes from Tamil Nadu. He has the honor of being the youngest elected secretary in the history of our SIRC. During his term as secretary, the SIRC won the Best Region Award for the first time in more than 10 years. And as I said, is also a consistent rank holder in his education and examinations. Dr. Abhishek Murali, All India Taxpayers Association, is also the president of the Citizen Awareness Forum of India. He is an expert in direct taxation, international taxation, litigation, appeals, due diligence, and mergers and acquisitions. Dr. Abhishek Murali has organized and spoken at more than 1,800 seminars, workshops, and conferences, and was felicitated with the Gold Star Award by Padma Shri Dr. Mailaswamy Annadurai, Director, ISRO Satellite Center, the Moon Man of India, for addressing more than 500 seminars during the COVID period alone. That itself says and gives us an insight of how the quality of the resource person that we have this evening. Dr. C. Abhishek Modi has also received the Abraham Lincoln Excellence Award from the International Peace Council USA for his excellence in the tax sector and laudable contributions of repute by addressing more than 500 seminars during the COVID period. He is a member of the Committee for Implementation and Survey of the Faceless Assessment and Faceless Appeals proceedings constituted by the Ministry of Finance, Government of India. He is a non-academia member of the Board of Studies of Madras University. He regularly appears on national and regional TV channels and contributes articles of professional interest in various newspapers and journals. I have already received sir's message to keep it brief. So sir is chairman of many committees of the SIRC, and he has authored many books of professional interest. His book on overview of the Companies Act 2013 is well received in the corporate circles, and his other books are also extensively used by professionals and government officials alike. You almost may think that he is just into book studies and seminars, but no, he is an avid follower of golf, squash, football, and table tennis, and is a keen follower of the game of football. And he also loves and he is regularly into blogging and enjoys reading. Sir, it's a pleasure to have you here with us this evening, and I'm 100% certain that the next 1 hour and so will be thoroughly knowledge enriching and value additive for all of us, and we will share a lot of insights and professional guidance to all the members and students present over here. Over to you, Abhishek sir.
Thank you so much, Gautam sir. A very, very warm good evening to one and all present here. The management committee members of the Mangalore branch, most importantly, the chairman, CA Subramania Kamath sir, secretary, CA Prasanna Shinoy sir, Sikasa chairman, who gave me a very, very kind introduction, CA Gautam Pai sir, past chairman, CA SS Nayak ji, who had was very kind enough to invite me for the Jubilee celebrations held last year. Of course, we have many other leading luminaries from the Mangalore branch, including Praveen Shetty sir, past chairman. I can say Anat Padmanabhan sir, and many more. I hope I'm not missing anybody out. But thank you so much, dear members, management committee members, for the love and affection shown by you and inviting me for this important seminar. So, as rightly pointed out by the chairman sir and SS Nayak sir before program started, Bangalore is very, very closely associated. I enjoy addressing here. It's almost the 4th or 5th time I'm speaking in the Bangalore branch. But unfortunately, due to COVID, I have not had a chance to visit in the last few years. So I hope, hopefully, when COVID settles, I'll be able to visit once again. My dear friends, not only we are fighting with COVID challenges, as rightly chosen this topic by our chairman sir, we are fighting income tax website challenges also. So there are a lot of important developments which are happening. In fact, the representation we have made has been accepted by the finance ministry, and some of the due dates have been extended. Having said that, there is still a lot of other things that are pending. You take the income tax returns, for example. Over the last 3 days, suddenly some new issues are also there. In fact, today I've been getting a lot of calls from members saying we are trying OTP validation. It is not working. We have selected e-verify later option and we are not able to e-verify at all. So there are issues. Previously, this was not there. Last week when I did it, it was working. Suddenly, last 2 or 3 days, it seems to have come up. So there are a lot of challenges which are coming up in the website, and there are other important developments while filing the return as well. So in today's session, I'm going to cover one, most importantly, what are the critical changes in the forms? See, website is not working today. You're not able to file the return today. But next week, if it is working, you still have to collect the information and file the returns. So what are the new information that you'll have to collect? What are the critical points that you must note? And of course, I will also talk about what are the changes in the returns that's going to affect your filing of the returns, my dear friends. The first thing I want to talk about is the key developments. Before we go directly into the changes, there are a few important developments which have happened around the filing of return, which is going to impact how you file the returns, how you are collecting the information. The first thing, last year in July, the CBDT and CBIC signed an information sharing pact. We all know last year returns, it was extended almost till December for filing. But despite that, even though this was entered into July 2020, more than a year old, we did not see the impact last year when filing. But those of you who filed your tax audit reports, who have filed a belated return would have noticed this. And even now you can see. any business assessee who is having GST records, they will have their month-on-month GST turnover now in the 26 years. Earlier, this was not there. In fact, in the early days of my articleship, I'll share a funny story. One of my initial audits, this was, I went to that company, I started the audit, and then I was vouching the sales. So I was saying the ledger and I was comparing it with the financials. It was not matching. So I asked that account manager, I said, sir, this is not matching. Can you help? He called the clerk and he started shouting at him. He said, why you are given the indirect tax record? Give the direct tax records. I said, sir, what? How does it matter? Indirect tax or direct tax? Anyway, same turnover, Yeah, no, Abhishek. For VAT authorities, we give one records. For income tax authorities, we give another records. It may sound funny. And eventually, I had to raise it to the partner and then we got it resolved and made the amendments. But the issue, the truth was, many assessees knowingly prepare two set of financials, one for indirect tax authorities, one for direct tax authorities, sometimes one for MCA and ROC purposes also. So this is very much the case. So, and the confidence they did it with is because they know the income tax officer and that indirect tax officer will never speak. By the time they write to the VAT authorities, especially in Tamil Nadu, by the time that VAT authorities open that notice, no, it will come on his desk, he'll take it, put it in the drawer. By the time he opens it, 6 months will be over. By the time he reads it, another 8 months will be over. By the time he responds to it, almost 1.5 years will be over. By the time either the assessment will be over, your officer will be transferred. One of these two would have happened. So ultimately, it served no purpose in sending a letter and asking for reconciliation of balances. But now, in your 26 AS itself, month on month, your GST turnover is going to come. So gone are the days presenting two set of financials and all. So what you need to do, what do you and I need to do? What is the meaning of this? Ensure when you're getting the 26 AS, you prepare a reconciliation of the turnover as per the GST records, which is there in your 26 AS versus your sales as per your income tax records. I'll tell you why. Two very, very important reasons. One, as you all know, for GST purposes, some things are turnover, which is not real turnover. I am transferring to my branch, which is in a different state. It is considered to be a turnover for GST records, but for income tax records, it is not. Okay, that is very straightforward. Second more important thing, many of you, I can already see in chat box, 3 or 4 questions have come to me on this. Many of you would have found the GST records, whatever is shown in your 26 AS is incorrect. Actually, your GST turnover that you have submitted in your GSTR forms are different to what is over here. So why is it different? So maybe you have changed it in the annual return. When you are filing it, you have corrected it. Or 2, it is just wrong. It's supposed to be computerized, but still it is populating wrong. So please ensure when you are filing the income tax return itself, you prepare a reconciliation. Because, my dear friends, you all know how CPC is acting today. The moment there is any kind of difference, they are making an addition and they're moving on. So please be very careful with this. Prepare a reconciliation when you are filing every return which has GST turnover. Now the second very, very important. How many of you this time on 30th of March 2021 got calls from your client saying, sir, we have got a message from income tax saying compliance portal something has come, compliance portal something has come. They are saying we have not admitted the return. How many of you? Because I got a call from almost at least 100 clients from 30th of March saying I have not admitted the return. And you all knew that the last date of filing the revised return or a belated return is 31st of March. 1 day time we had when we got these notices to the client. Finally, when we go and check, there is a compliance portal on the income tax website. In this compliance portal, they start populating what and all income you have. You see, earlier, this was the true reality. Interest from savings bank account was not disclosed by most assessees. Either they will not disclose it or they will give you only 1 or 2 accounts. They'll actually have 6 accounts. I face this with my clients who have been there for 15, 20 years. When this compliance notice came, only I came to know they have some other bank account. I said, sir, you are filing salary return. So many years you are filing, you are not told. Actually, we did not show, Abhishek. I said, why you did not show? That department, I thought no need to show, so I did not show. It will be some interest income for the 15,000, 16,000 they are getting, and they are not even disclosing. For year on year, it has not happened till this compliance notice came. So please be very careful. Now, whether your interest income is 1 lakh rupees or whether it is 1,000 rupees from your savings bank account, this is now being noted by your bank and communicated to the income tax. So the income tax very much have the records of your interest income. Earlier only we knew fixed deposit because TDS will come in your 26 years. It will get reported there, so you will not miss it. Savings bank interest, nowhere it got reported. So therefore, even if they did not give, you're like, okay, leave it, chalega, not a problem. After all, 10,000 deduction is there, 80 TTA, senior citizen mean TTB is there. So you leave it. But now you cannot leave it. Please ensure you ask each and every client of yours, disclose the detail of your savings bank account, what and all accounts you have, what is the interest that you're earning from the same, and ensure you collect it, or at least you put it on record so that tomorrow they don't come and say, why you didn't ask? It is your fault you did not ask. And we know sometimes how some people behave, very much they will ask the same. So the fundamental question, is the return filing very different? I think most of you should have started filing the returns. For those of you who have not tried filing, the ultimate question you have, earlier we had Excel utility, we had Java utility. This year they have removed all that and they have put only a JSON utility, like how it is done for the GST audit, GST annual return. They have brought a JSON utility. So is the return filing very, very different? So this is the example I always say. You see, you take the example of a shop. I have a very, very old shop with a warehouse attached behind it. Then I decided to renovate the shop because for many years nothing is happened. So I am destroying the wall. I'm making a nice glass showcase entrance and glassed door, everything. I'm putting lovely lights. I'm doing full painting, renovation. I've got beautiful staff at the entrance who are coming to welcome all the customers who are coming in. But when they come to buy the goods, ultimately the goods are stored in the same old warehouse that is there behind. So I've changed the front, but the goods are still there in the back. So what I'm trying to say is this website or this new return filing format, the way it is presented is slightly different. Nice polish, lot of questions. The way it is showing is tab wise, they're showing schedules, etc. They're showing. But ultimately, whatever they're asking from you is the same thing they asked before, except for few critical points. So it is mostly the same. So most of you don't get scared, especially many senior citizens, senior chartered accountants, they've been asking me, sir, why has it changed so much? Don't worry, sir, it has not changed. Whatever you are doing, you just continue to do the same. Just make note of the important changes I'm highlighting in the presentation today. So let us get started with the ITR forms. We're all familiar that there are 7 ITR forms that has not changed this year. The purposes of the 7 is what has changed. Normally ITR 1 we say salaries, ITR 2 means if you have capital gains, ITR 3 any business income, ITR 4 is for presumptive people, ITR 5 is for firms, LLP, etc. 6 is for companies, and 7 is for trust, non-corporate organizations, all that, non-profit organizations, etc. Now, most of these forms remain unchanged except for ITR 1. As you and I both know, being chartered accountants, we all prefer to file ITR 1. Why? Because it is a vanilla form, it is fairly simple, it is less time consuming, and we prefer to file through that. But there are some very, very important developments here. Who can file the ITR? For individuals being a resident, other than not ordinarily resident. So very clear, you have to be a resident and an ordinarily resident. If you are an NRI, you cannot file ITR 1. If you are R and NOR, if you are R and NOR, then also you cannot file. You must be a R and an OR. So resident and ordinarily resident. Okay. Having total income up to 50 lakhs. No change in this criteria. Whatever was there last year continues. Okay. Having income from salary, one house property and other sources. If you noticed, I stressed on one house property. I'll tell you why. Simple example. I have 2 houses. One house is self-occupied. I'm living with my family. Second house, I have rented it out. I'm getting a rent of, let us assume, 30,000 per month. I'm getting a rent. Now, my dear friends, can you tell me, in this particular scenario, where I'm getting a rent of 30,000 per month, I choose to file ITR 1. I am admitting whatever rental income I'm getting. So 30,000 less standard deduction, whatever I'm going and offering, I'm paying the tax. Is there any tax evasion? No. Have I reported any wrong income from house property? No, because self-occupied property nil value only. My gross total income is correct. My taxable income is correct. My tax is also correct. My tax payable paid also is correct. So I have not evaded anything. So why I am stressing on this point? You see, for the first time, the income tax department have clarified something this year. Till this year, in this example I gave you, department, even with the knowledge that I am owner of 2 houses, they will not come and revise this return. They will not have any problem with it. They used to still process it. This year, however, the income tax have very clearly said, in circumstances where you are filing an invalid return, you are not choosing the right form, we are not going to look at any numbers, etc. We will straight away treat the return as invalid. We'll give you 7 days time. You respond to it, you make the resolution. If you don't, we will treat it as invalid, as if you have not filed the return at all. Please be very careful here. I gave you a prime example where no tax evasion, no wrong disclosure, no incorrect tax paid, everything perfect. It just happened to be a nil property for 2 properties. They are saying it would be an invalid return. So ensure if you have more than 1 house property, you cannot file ITR 1. Now let me give you another example. I have only 1 house property. I have salary income, I have interest income, I have only 1 house property. But this house property happened to be co-owned by me and my wife. I am 50% owner, my wife is 50% owner. In this case, which head will it be taxable? House property head. Does it satisfy ITR 1 requirements? I need to have income from salaries, 1 house property and other sources. I have only 1 house property. So can I file ITR 1? This is where things get interesting. Now they have said, where there is any form of co-ownership, if you have any co-owner, you cannot file ITR 1, you must file an ITR 2 or ITR 3 only. Look at that. I am an assessee. I am a 99% owner of a house. The other owner is only 1%. Sir, we don't care. If you are a co-owner, go to ITR 2, don't file in ITR 1. Why ITR 2? You have to give disclosure of details of address, PIN code, who is the owner, who is the tenant. All these details have to be furnished when you are filling in ITR 2. In ITR 1, you just have to fill the amount and close. So people prefer ITR 1, but ITR 2 is the reality over here, my dear friends. What are some other changes they have brought? One very, very important change is they have said if you are a director in a company, you cannot file ITR 1. Look at that. Simply holding director position disables you from ITR 1. You may not get any sitting fees or remuneration also. Still, you cannot file ITR 1. You have to file ITR 2 or ITR 3 because you have certain additional disclosure. Similarly, if you hold any unlisted equity shares, I'm owner of Flipkart share, then I cannot file ITR 1. I must file ITR 2 simply because I'm holding 1 Flipkart share. That is what the form says. It does not say transacting. It says, have you holding? Have you held during the year any unlisted equity share? Then you have to file ITR 2 or ITR 3. You cannot file under ITR 1. So therefore, you can see they have brought in a lot of restrictions as to who can file ITR 1. The ultimate objective of the government, they want to issue a refund within less than 12 hours. That is their plan. If they want to issue under 12 hours, all the information should be readily available with them. See, if it is available, then they can do it. So all of this, they have to cross-check. So they don't want to readily issue the refund, get caught up. So slowly what they are doing is they are tightening the criteria of who can file ITR 1 and reducing the number of people who can do it. So that is the ultimate aim. That is why so many changes are there, my dear friends. Now let us come to the return filing itself. You see, interestingly, this time, what they have done is the new website, I have to log in. I have to log into the income tax filing utility, the JSON utility. I have to fill the PAN number. Once I fill the PAN number, for some strange reason, it asks, do you want to change the status of your entity? Now I have logged into an individual, but you can see that I can select if I want to be a HUF or a company, associate persons or partnership firm. Why they're giving us the option to choose what entity we are, I don't know. But for some reason, this is being asked in the new form, very, very funny. One other thing that they're asking, this was there last year also, but this year it is more important, is the 7th proviso. You see certain assessees, even clients of yours, they'll come individually, they'll file their return and go. But they'll have a family, wife, mother, father, maybe son, daughter also. These persons, they don't file the returns for the other people. When you ask them, they will say, no, sir, no income is there. But then now what the government have done? You must have all read the WhatsApp forwards and all came. Only 3% of the country is filing their returns. 3 people are bearing the entire burden of India. All that we would have studied. So how can 3 people bear it? Because you take the example, you walk down the road, wherever your house is, you just take a stroll down the street, you will find a bunch of shops which are normally there. Like my road where I'm staying, the corner of the road, there's a very small shop. It's a sandwich shop. It's very famous in Chennai. And these persons, you can check whether they have any GST returns they have filed. It will not be filed. Whether they filed income tax returns, they would have not filed. Whether they have deducted TDS, no. Whether they have bank account, they don't have bank account. Whether they have PAN number, they don't even have a PAN card. But these people, entire day, they'll open the shop at 8 o'clock in the morning. It will be open till 11 in the night. Every time you go to the shop, minimum 10 or 12 people will be there. And if you go in peak hours, there'll be a queue of 30 or 40 people waiting to have the sandwich. And this person will be doing lakhs of business every day. Several lakhs of business. I am not even exaggerating. Several lakhs minimum business he'll be doing every day. So this is the sort of organizations that's there. No compliance with any tax, any laws over there. If department come and ask him, he'll say, sir, nothing I have, sir. I don't earn any money. You check my bank account. I don't have any deposits there. So therefore, you please leave me. So this is the way the government said, let us not put income-based criteria alone. Let us put expense-based criteria also. Normally, if your income exceeds the maximum amount not chargeable to tax, you have to file the return of income. If it is not with exceeding 2,50,000 or 3 lakhs, then you don't have to file the return, your gross total income. Now they have said, if an assessee incurs electricity bill of rupees 1 lakh or more during the year, then he has to file the return. This sandwich shop that is running for 14 hours every day, easily they will cross that 1 lakh bill every year. So without fail, they have to file the return of income. If they don't, the department will come and ask the TNEB or whoever is the electricity board. They will ask them to share the information and they'll straight away and go and take action, or they'll issue a notice against that other person. Similarly, another scenario. This is why you will have a larger ramification. Have you incurred any expenditure of an amount exceeding rupees 2 lakhs during the entire year in aggregate for travel of either yourself or anybody else to a foreign country? If I travel to the US, I am spending 2 lakhs, I have to file my return of income. No problem. My wife is traveling to the US, I am booking her tickets. Even in that case, I have to file the return, not my wife. What is the implication of this? All of you have some foreign client, some person who's a non-resident, who's a foreign citizen. They're living in the US. Their father or mother, someone is there in India. Senior citizen mother, she is there in India. Yeah, the son is saying from the US, Amma, why don't you come and live with me here? Why are you staying alone in India? Mother says, no, my temple is here. All my family relatives are here. I am familiar with this. So I want to be here. So what does the son say? Don't worry, Amma, I will take care of all your bills, your electricity bills, your travel bills. Whenever you come to US, you come for 3-4 months. I will take care of your bills, everything. You come and stay with us. So all these costs are being incurred by a foreign citizen. Now, this foreign citizen, he is a green card holder. He has no income in India. Can you tell me here, in these two conditions I have told you, electricity bill paid of 1 lakh or more, and even foreign travel of 2 lakhs or more, who is incurring the cost? That citizen in the US. Who is consuming it? The mother in India. Who has to file the return? Mother does not have any income in India. Son also does not have any income in India. So here, because of the 7th proviso, it appears that US citizen suddenly has to file a return of income in India. Because if he does not file, then penalty they'll levy, saying 1,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees, all of that will come into effect. So please be very careful when it comes to this and ensure that more people are filing. They are trying to enlarge the tax base. Of course, they are trying to catch people who are evading tax, but in the process, people like this American citizen is also going to get caught. Now, one thing you may have found is in the new website, lot of different approaches are being taken. See, one of the most fundamental things about this website, and I personally, I feel very, very sad that it is there. If any of you have looked at the income tax website, You would have found in the income tax website, in the home page, the very home page of the income tax, www.incometax.gov.in. If you go to the home page, there is a Twitter. There's a Twitter over there. In the Twitter post, one of the first things they have said in the Twitter post, it is there on the main home page. I am not saying this. I am reading from that. It's the best available service from the IT department. It is so easy that a user can file the return himself. No need to spend money and go to CAs or consultants. Don't go to any CA or consultant. Don't spend any money on them. This is what is being said on the income tax website. The same income tax website, my dear friends, where the income tax department itself is coming to ICAI saying, you tell us what is the problem in the website, you please help us. How can they at the same time come and ask us, the ICAI, for guidance, and at the same time on that same website, they are saying, don't go to CA, don't go to consultant, file the return yourself. I find it shocking. And in fact, I had represented and requested the Central Council members to object to this. We are forming a task force. We are giving them guidance. Every issue that is being resolved now is because of the support of our chartered accountants. And every day we are raising the issues. Has the Infosys anywhere told, today these are the changes which is there in the website? Today onwards, your form 10A is available. Today onwards, Vivad Se Vishwas scheme is available. Today onwards, these are the changes we have done. Nowhere it is reported. You and I have to wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning, try what is working, and then we will send a WhatsApp. Sir, all these facilities are there today. You please file this. This is what we're doing. Highly unfair what the income tax website is saying, don't go to CA, etc. And at the same time, our ICAI is giving full support. Highly unfortunate. Why I'm bringing this point, I will tell you, is because if you look at this new IT returns, what they are trying to do, my dear friends, is trying to say that don't go to a CA, you file it yourself, we will simplify it. How are they simplifying? They are using question and answer format, it seems. You look at the screen, what you can see on the screen. This is what the return looks like. They are asking questions to the assessee. Are you eligible to claim in respect of expenditure on LTA? That is section so and so. Are you eligible for children education allowance or HRA? Like this, they are asking one by one, they are asking questions. They have to select yes or no. If they select yes, they have to fill in the amount and the system itself will calculate what is the eligibility, etc. You don't have to give anything. I myself will calculate, they are saying. But my dear friends, I can tell you one thing. The way the current form is, I'm using pre-fill, not using pre-fill, nothing is getting filled properly. How are they going to distinguish between basic plus DA and basic minus DA? All that I don't know. It's not at all possible in my view. The way the current form is, even if the form 16, everything is proper. So this attempt to try and dissuade from going to CS by making it simpler is a failure in my view. They have not succeeded. But ultimately, the point to note is that is what the government is trying to do, and that is what the department is trying to do over here. Be it your exemptions, be it your deductions. They are doing it in a question and answer format so that it is easier to understand rather than give a long tabulation, give the section number and ask them to figure it out. Next, of course, we have the new scheme under section 115 BAC. What is this new tax regime? What is the impact of this new tax regime? For the first time in the history of India, you have two alternative tax structures. You can either go for the old scheme or you can go for the new scheme. Under the old scheme, our traditional process, three-tier slab structure is there. 5%, 10%, 5%, 20%, and 30% is there. Under the new slab structure, you have 7 slabs. But of course, under the new regime, all the exemptions are gone, all the deductions are gone. So therefore, for every client that you're doing the work for this year, please calculate old regime, calculate the new regime also. Do both, see which is more beneficial to the assessee, and accordingly take a decision. I'll tell you why this is important. Because in many cases, I have found the new regime is actually more beneficial to the assessee. Normally, if you have a deductions or exemptions up to 2,80,000 that you can claim in the new regime, that you can't claim in the new regime, that you can claim in the old regime. The old regime itself is better. Forget the new regime. It's not at all beneficial. So 2,80,000 and more, don't even bother looking at the new regime. The old regime only is beneficial. If the exemptions and deductions is less than 2,80,000, then definitely consider the new regime. Taxes reduce even to the extent of, in some cases, I've seen up to 14,000 or 15,000 rupees also there is saving in taxes. So do both regimes. But what does this have to do with the ITR form? Because this year, when this new regime is selected, you must submit a form known as Form 10IE. There's a form, separate form known as Form 10IE, which you have to submit if you are filing under the new regime. Now here, that is why a lot of questions are coming. Some of you have started trying to file the Form 10IE. You are not able to file. One issue you may be facing is it is asking, are you in the nature of business? Yes or no? No option is not there. Only yes option is available. So all your salaried persons that you're trying to claim under the new scheme, you're not able to file Form 10IE. Yes or no? So most of you are facing this problem, and I'll tell you the solution. If you look at the act, you look at the bare reading, then it says any person going for the new scheme has to file this Form 10IE. Why? Is because if you're a salaried person, every year you can change. This year I want a new regime, next year I want old regime. After that, I want once again new regime. Once again, I want to go back to old regime. You can do it. Please go ahead. You are a salaried person. But if you have any business income, if you have any form of business income, you can change only once in a lifetime. You cannot change every year. You have the option only once in a lifetime. So therefore, this Form 10IE, they have brought it to track the same. I'll tell you why. This is what it looks like in the form. When you go to the form, it will ask you one button. Do you want to file Form 10IE? Yes or no? So what I will do, this year new regime beneficial to me. I am a business associate. I'll say yes. I want to go under new regime. Then I will file my return. I will claim under new regime. Suddenly after 3 years, I'll find the old regime better. So I'll switch back to the old regime. Then 4th year, again new regime better. So I want to switch to the new regime. And I will do the calculation whether it is worthwhile to pay the tax for the last few years under the new regime itself, and say that I selected by mistake. So I will work out and I will say, sir, earlier year by mistake I selected new regime, sir. I wanted to go under the old regime only. That button I pressed wrongly. So many decisions are there where people have pressed the wrong button in the income tax return. So therefore it is okay for you to change it because of that button change. So that people don't use the defense, they have brought this Form 10IE. If you see this Form 10IE, nothing major. It is asking who's your assessing officer, what is your address, PAN number, etc., bank account details. That is all they are asking. Very, very basic details that you can get from the ITR form itself. But you have to validate this with a separate OTP, and you have to file this Form 10IE. So that later date, you don't come and say, by mistake, I pressed a button. By mistake, you cannot file a separate form and do OTP validation. So that is the pure reason why they have this separate form. It has nothing else to do. There's nothing there in this form that is worth noting actually. Then an interesting change, the beneficial change, is the capital gains schedule. Anyone who has filled the old capital gains schedule will tell you it's a very, very lengthy schedule. So much details they will ask from the assessee in the capital gains schedule. So in order to give a relief, they have simplified it. They have put all the asset classes in one schedule. You can tick whatever is the relevant asset class. I am filing a return only sale of land and building. First asset class I will select, and then only those relevant details will come. I don't have to go through 7 schedules for short-term capital gains, 7 for long-term, quarterly breakup, all that I don't have to see. Only land and building, whatever is relevant will come to me. Similarly, if I sell shares, short-term capital gains on shares, then I have to fill only sale consideration minus cost of acquisition over. I don't have to look at what is 54, whether I'm reinvesting, what's the address of my property, who is the buyer, PAN number, whether I'm reinvesting in capital gain account scheme. All those details I don't have to look at. Whatever class I'm selling, whatever is relevant to me, only that schedule will be shown. So this is definitely a good change. So we have to appreciate them for that change. The next one is dividend income. See, now you have to give a quarterly breakup of a dividend income. See, till now, dividend income was almost completely exempt, or in the last 2 years, up to 10 lakhs was exempt, beyond that taxable at 10%. This time, for the first time ever, it is taxable at your slab rate. So now they want a quarterly breakup of your dividend income. Give the quarterly breakup, first quarter, how much, second quarter, third quarter, like that you have to give the details. So ensure that while you're collecting the information from the client, you ensure you collect this properly, my dear friends. Remember, I told you, you have to get details. If you're a director in a company, you have to file ITR 2 or 3. This is the reason. If you look at the form, these are the details they're asking from you. Name of the company, PAN number, whether company is listed or unlisted, what is your DIN number, Similarly, if you have holding unlisted shares, it is asking what is the name of the company, nature of the company, opening balance, etc. Highly cumbersome, but that is what they are asking. Talking about cumbersome, we come to the most irritating schedule that exists on the planet, Schedule 112A. You all know capital gains used to be exempt, fully exempt under Section 1038. Till 3 years back, they brought a change called 112A1 schedule. They said up to 1 lakh rupees, it is fully exempt. Beyond that, taxable at 10%. Okay, fine, no problem. But they brought one schedule called 112A. In this 112A schedule, they said you have to fill the ISIN code, name of the share, and then put what is number of units, sale price, full value consideration, cost of acquisition, what was the highest value of the share on 31st January 2018. All kinds of details they started asking from you in this 112A form. Highly cumbersome. If you have done 1 or 2 shares, you can fill it. If your client has traded in 100 shares, filling this is a headache. It will take at least 3-4 hours to do it. So therefore, what should you do in these scenarios? You see, when the first time they brought this, we went to the department. We said, this is not fair. We raised it to the government. Finance Ministry said, yes, you are right, Abhishek. It's an optional schedule. If you want, you can fill it. Whether any person will optionally fill this? Obviously, no. So forget optional filling. Then last year also the schedule was there. So once again, we went and said, what is the same schedule is there? Is it optional? They did not say anything. They were just quiet. They are saying repeatedly, we are asking, they did not say. Then they came with an announcement. Yes, it is optional. Oh, very good. Who is it optional for? If you are trading in stocks, it is optional. I said, what announcement is this? If I'm trading in stocks, 120 itself is not applicable. Then it will be my business income. It will be my stock in trade. I don't have to bother. No. If you are not trading, then it's compulsory for you. So effectively, government need not have made any announcement. It was compulsory last year for you also then. So this year I thought, okay, at least now it will change, because when I met the finance ministry, I asked them, why are you asking us to fill this schedule? It's so cumbersome. What are you getting out of it? With the assessing officer, if he has any doubts, he can call for the details. He will give them profit and loss statement from the broker. They said, Abhishek, we have an agreement with SEBI. SEBI and SEBI have signed an agreement for exchange of data. Now, if you are giving any wrong information, we will check it with SEBI. We will find out and we will issue a notice to you. I said, sir, you have an agreement with SEBI. You only pre-fill. No, why you are asking us to pre-fill? You only pre-fill. If it is incorrect, we will change it. Then you take action. Don't ask us to pre-fill. They said, oh, wow, what an idea. Brilliant idea that they said. So this year, when they came out with the forms, I thought, okay, very good. They will definitely bring all the change. We can pre-fill the details, etc. But white blood means that same blood only is there. Whatever form was there before, it is the same form. They made it even more complex. Now, at least before it was a horizontal format. So tab like that, I could press and I could fill it up. Now they have made it vertical in this new format. Highly cumbersome, very irritating to fill it. In fact, this time when I'm filling, errors are also coming. In one assessee's case, I was getting 60 rupees as a difference. And I am not, it is coming 0 in this form. I don't know why. It is coming short-term capital loss of 60 rupees, but it's not allowing me to adjust in this. It is calculating as 0. So I don't know why it is there. This form is highly cumbersome, but it appears to be compulsory this time also. So here one tip I can give you. If you look at the bottom of the screen, I've given you an ISIN code. You see, when you're filling that ISIN code, it's a mandatory field. If you put dummy number 0000 or A, B, C like that, it will not accept. XYZ and all will not accept. You have to put in the proper ISIN code. It will pre-fill the name of the share. So here, if you don't have an ISIN code or you don't want to fill the form, I am giving you an option what to fill. If you fill this INNOTAVAILAB, if you fill this exact wording in the ISIN code, then you can fill the entire capital gains in one line. I'm not advising you to do that. Suppose you don't have the information, last minute client is coming, something like that. You have to fill it and you have to file. Please use this ISIN code that you're seeing on the screen. If you fill that, then you don't have to fill up any ISIN code. You can just proceed with the filing without any problem, my dear friends. So this is the option that you have in case you don't have the details of ISIN code. Now, ultimately, let us come to the 26 years. This has become a very, very important schedule. You see, many of you would have seen this time. There is something called SFT, a statement of financial transactions. It is getting more and more common now. when you are filing the return of income, they are asking for these details, or there are some details which are appearing in the 26 years. Suppose you deposited cash of, let us assume, 60 lakhs during the year. It will come in your SFT. The bank would have reported saying that you have deposited so much cash like that. So what is the meaning of this? How is it going to affect anything you do? You see now, till now, this details was either not furnished or the department has to do the work. Assessing officer has to do the work to get this information. If I am an assessee last year, my closing cash balance is 5,000 rupees. And during the year, I have admitted an income of 1 lakh rupees. Then what can be my cash balance? 1 lakh 5,000. But I happen to have deposited cash of 60 lakhs during the year. So when this comes in SFT, a notified transaction, it is nothing but an information to the department that you have done this transaction. It is also an information to you. In case your assessee has done a transaction like this, ensure you are able to justify the source. 1 lakh 5,000 could only be your possible source on record. So that means the balance amount, either it is there in your family, somebody has gifted it to you, or you have earned it, or you have taken an advance, something. So ensure you are able to reconcile the sources. You are able to justify what are these SFT transactions. Similarly, what are some other SFT transactions? Cash payment of credit card bill in excess of 1 lakh. Any FD shares, mutual funds in exceeding 10 lakhs that I have purchased during the year. Any forex currency change or forex currency transfer I am purchasing using my credit card for transactions outside India. Everything is going to get recorded in your 26 years, my dear friends. Not only that, our Prime Minister says all these transactions are also going to come in 26 years. Payment of educational fee of 1 lakh or more, consumption of electricity of 1 lakh or more, any business class travel, whether it is domestic or foreign, they are saying everything will get captured in your 26 years. Payment to hotel bills of 20,000, purchasing jewelry, or health insurance premium of 20,000. Apparently, all of this is going to come in 26 years. So what earlier 26 years we did for capturing your TDS and what is the income on the TDS deducted, suddenly has evolved into something else. So now it is going to show your full history. Your entire Jadagam and Kundali is going to come in your 26 years. So I don't know from when they are bringing this into effect, but this is the ultimate dream of the government clearly. So it is going to happen in a matter of time, my dear friends. So your 26 years to be a one-stop shop of anywhere. When I get asked a lot, you don't have to report anything. It's not a reporting for you. It is just an information for you. So when there is a SFT transaction, just ensure you do a reconciliation. You are able to justify the source for the same. So if you get a notice, the assessee will be able to justify what is the source for that. So they have already got that information. It is just getting reported as a matter of law. Of course, we'll now come to the income tax website and we can take questions. A lot of changes are there in the income tax website. There have been some very good developments that are happening. For example, legal air has been enabled, Vivad Se Vishwas has been enabled, and your e-proceedings has enabled. But there are still a lot of issues. See, some of the good things you can say is the outstanding demand is now going to be shown in your main screen. How many of you have faced this problem? A refund of 1 lakh due for this current year. You filed the return, 1 lakh refund due. Assessee calls you, says, I have got only 20,000 refund. Abhishek, can you check out what happened? When we go and find out, we are finding out that 80,000 is adjusted against an old demand. That old demand will be assessment year 11, 12, assessment year 8, 9. You will not even know where it has come, when it has come. In one of my assessee's case, current year refund was adjusted against demand for assessment year 4-5, 2004-5. For 2004-5, they cannot even issue a notice now. They cannot issue demand also. They cannot even reopen if they want to. The timeline has expired. Only maximum they can reopen up to 6 years, now 10 years. Even if you take foreign assets, 16 years only. They are reopened, they are making a demand beyond that. And none of you have got any notice, any demand notice, or any communication from the income tax. Suddenly one day refund they are adjusting against old demands. How many of you have faced this? It's a common issue being faced by all the taxpayers, tax assessees, and auditors also for that matter. So now what the department have done, in the dashboard itself, they are putting one small tab like this saying total outstanding demand. So if you have any outstanding demand, it will show there's a demand pending over here. If you click that button, you can go and see if there's any demand. So therefore, for your clients, at least something return filing 26 years, something you'll be logging in for. So if you log in, you can see if there's a change over here. So naturally, if there's a demand for a whole year, for assessment year 11-12, it should be showing that the demand is pending. Not when suddenly they'll adjust when a refund is due to me. That time when they adjust only, you will come to know. Now, no longer they can do all that. It has to be over here. If it is not here, then you can take action against them saying it is not a fair action that is initiated by the department. Of course, you know that there are issues in the Form 10A filing. It's a very common thing being faced by all people. Now we have asked them to fix it. So because we have asked them to fix it, they have extended the date. In fact, even today we were trying to file the Vivad Se Vishwas and 10A, and it was not happening even today. Despite the extension of the date, I thought, okay, people will not be trying, the server will be free, but it is not free, it is not working properly. Unfortunately, the problem still continues. So hoping that in the next 3 to 4 days, it will be fixed, my dear friends. So other than this, your ATG details are there. So here a few doubts were there. So when you are filling this Form 10A, somebody asked me, when I am saying, so let us assume my return of income I filed last year beyond the due date. I filed it beyond the due date, but I am going for a reapplication, re-registration, etc. So here it is asking, have you filed the return beyond the due date? It's automatically selecting, yes, it is beyond the due date. So I'm not given the option to say no, and I'm not allowed to upload my return, even though it is filed after the due date, but I've finished everything is in order. It is asking asset and liability details. So what should I do? I'm saying you please fill up the asset and liability details. And when it comes to your attachments, it is asking for your attachments in the last page. Ensure that you are putting all your attachments over here in your other attachments. The last tab will be there, any other attachments. Similarly, activity report, very commonly used to attach in all of our applications for ATG or 10A, etc. Now it is not asked for specifically. Ensure you put it in the other attachments. Activity report is a very important aspect of getting your approvals under 12A and 10A and ATG, etc. So ensure you attach your activity report also in your other attachments, my dear friends. Compliance check has been enabled. I think most of you know this already, because there was a new provision under 296AB, which was introduced saying TDS has to be deducted at a higher rate if a person has not filed the returns for last 2 years where there is TDS of 50,000 or more. Of course, this was a huge impediment, because everyone, they started saying you have to give your returns, you have to give me your 26 years, then only I will transact with you. Vendors were very nervous to give. They did not want to share their personal details. So government itself, they enabled a portal where it will tell you whether he's a specified person or not. If he's a specified person, then you have to deduct the TDS at a higher rate. If he is not, don't worry about it. So you can log into the income tax website using the TAN number. You have to log in using a TAN number. Use the PAN search. You can put whatever PAN number you want, search it. So in this assessee's case, I just did a test. I searched for the name. It comes in this masked way. After I input the PAN number, it will show me the PAN allotment date, whether the PAN Aadhaar are linked or not, and whether he's a specified person, yes or no. I don't have to ask for return also. E-proceeding is enabled. I think I had a few calls from people who are calling and asking whether rectification is enabled. You can do a e-proceeding, but rectification under 154 is still not enabled. There are some problems there. So what do you have to do? If you have any rectification issue that you are facing, please file it manually. The power of rectification still lies with your physical jurisdictional assessing officer. So please file the same manually, put it in your tapal, send it by email, get a proof, put that proof in your file. That is the best way you can do it and keep track of the same. Similarly, if you're trying to file a return in response and you're not able to do it because either the old form you're not able to get the Java or Excel utility, or you're not able to file it at all, what should you do in this scenario? Again, like how we used to do before, write a letter to your physical jurisdictional assessing officer saying that please treat the original return as the return filed in response, and file the same, put it in tapal, get a proof. There are persisting problems in the website, but you have to raise a grievance, put it in Tapal, keep a proof that you have done your bit from your end. In fact, now there are multiple decisions. I'll give you an example what happened. One of my assessees, he happens to be a legal heir to his parents. Both his parents are no more. Some old cases are still ongoing. So we used to log into the assessees. We had registered him as a legal heir, uploaded death certificate, everything in the old website. For many years, we have been responding using his login. When the new website came, legal heir option was not available. Legal heir option was not available. So we could not file a response. Every day we are getting notices from department. You have not responded. We are giving you second opportunity, third opportunity, fourth opportunity. We are going to raise penalty. We are passing a best judgment order. All this happened. And I'm not even able to log in. You forget allowing me to respond. It was impossible for me to respond. So we have, every time we had raised a grievance saying we are not able to respond, not able to respond. The high courts have held in our favor, saying where it is impossible for you to do it. Why you are sitting and persisting and saying that he has to do it and how he has to respond. It is not possible for him to respond. So ultimately what you need to do is ensure you keep the grievances, you raise the grievances, or you put it in Tapal and keep the proof. You need to have the proof on your record saying you have tried. So later date, they don't come back and say, sir, you have not done it in time. So these are the critical points when it comes to the changes in the ITR form and the changes in the income tax website. Yes, it is brief, but I thought at the same time, since a lot of improvements are there in the income tax website itself, there's no point in discussing certain old issues. But when it comes to the Vivad Se Vishwas scheme, yes, there is a problem now. We were filing last week without any problem. It was working. Suddenly in the last 3-4 days, there have been issues. We are not able to file the form 4. It is coming error every time. It is showing the forms are there, but I'm not able to go into the form. So these issues are still very much there. So, but hopefully it will all be resolved in the next 1 week. As you know, the finance minister has given them time till 15th of September. We have made a representation for extending the due date of the return filing also. So hopefully that should also come in the due course. So with this, I've come to the end of the presentation. Thank you very much for a very, very patient listening. And I thank the management committee members. Sir, should I take the questions? If there are any questions, we can take it, or I can hand the session back over to you.
That presently, there are no questions, sir. Because I do not know, like members may not be knowing what questions to be raised because it's a new return. They might not have in detail. They might not have studied.
Correct.
So to study the return, this one also new. This one when it is not available, issue here, and so just we can wait for any questions. So according to me, all are busy with the like as the portal is not properly working, they are preparing their work and keeping in like that only. Because I have when I met as many of the members during the national conference, the portal is not properly working. What they are doing is just they are completing the work and keeping it like that only. And when the portal start working, they will be working on the same. But definitely, sir, today we have understood how cumbersome our new this one portal or this one filling the same, because many of the things they have added, and definitely that you have explained with regard to even when we have the income from that capital gain from shares. So how difficult it is to fill also, but yes, you have given some solutions also. Yes, sir. So while filling, so you have given. So one question has come. Please, I will read it.
Shall I read the question, sir? I cannot hear. I'm not able to hear. I don't know why.
No, yeah. Sorry. 1 minute. Sir, you can, sir, if you want, you can read it. Otherwise, I can.
I'll read it. I'll read it.
Salaried assessee. Okay.
Salaried assessee having speculation income from shares, intraday trading, whether it will be considered to be business and he will have only one chance to change to old versus new? I think this is a very good practical question asked by Guru Prasad sir, because this is an issue that I think a lot of us are facing. So you know that speculation activity, intraday trading, is definitely something what is known as a speculative business, my dear friends. So therefore, when that is speculative business, you will know that speculation is in the nature of business income. So therefore, you have to file ITR 3. The moment you file ITR 3, it is saying that you have only once in a lifetime opportunity. So therefore, here we have made a request saying, please exclude the speculation business from this once in a lifetime thing. It is under consideration, but at the same time, at the moment, yes, if it is speculation business also, you are included in the once in a lifetime opportunity, unfortunately. But also note that it is related to that business only. If your nature of business changes, then of course, once again, you are given a life under the scheme. So that is my view. It's more aggressive, but I think it's the right view, because they don't intend to include these in the cases. Now, since you asked on that speculation business, I'll give you an issue that's there in the website currently. For example, one of the current problems which is there in the website, I'll give you an example I faced. I have an assessee. He's a salaried person. He does only investing in shares. By mistake, one day he has done intraday trading. That is for a value of 100 rupees or 120 rupees only, he has done intraday. What happens is, he had a loss of 13 rupees, speculative loss of 13 rupees. I am filing ITR 3 for this person. I am not going new scheme and all, old scheme only, I am doing ITR 3. Under the current ITR 3, it is not allowing me to file the return. It is saying that if I have to file the return, then because my profit is lesser than 8%, as per the requirement under 44 AD, I have to file a tax audit report. Then only I can file the return. It's not allowing me to file at all. That client is saying 13 rupees loss, sir. You want me to do tax audit? Because the tax audit fees, I don't know which auditor will do at 13 rupees or lesser. Because he will say, for 13 rupees loss, I have to incur a loss. I have to pay you your tax audit fees, means I'll have a bigger loss. So question comes, do I have to disclose at all? Obviously, you have to disclose, because if you don't disclose, they'll say you have not disclosed, you have not filed the return properly. So catch-22 situation. So this also is an issue that you'll be facing. We have raised this. So we are hoping that this will ideally be resolved. I don't know if it will be resolved for sure, but definitely it looks like that it will be resolved or not. But we'll let us wait and see. Thank you. Thank you so much. So thank you very much for a very patient listening. Thank you for this opportunity to invite me for this program. And I hope we had an enjoyable discussion. And you can feel free to reach out if you have any practical doubts to me. I shared my WhatsApp number and my mobile number. You can just drop me a message, and you can discuss if there's any issues that you are facing. So thank you so much, and back to the organizers.
Sir, thank you, Dr. C. Abhishek Murli, sir. It was a very wonderful session. So actually,
Doctor
we love to
giving
hear
financial
your
medicine.
whenever,
Our doctor is giving
our
financial
SFX,
medicine. Abhishek Murali is a doctor who gives us financial medicine.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And
normally, SS Nayak sir will give us some punchline in Sanskrit. Now he is giving in English also for me.
So over now, we can vote of thanks.
We can wind up. We can give vote of thanks. Sir, SS Naik, sir, we can give vote of. Yeah,
I can give.
Present.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
On behalf of Mangalore branch of ICAI, it is our pleasure, without any pressure, to listen to our CA Dr. Abhishek Murali, who has given a doctor giving financial medicine and tax tips, and his way of explanation is really amazing. Nobody will have any doubt. Even if the doubt is there, it is clarified then and there. I wish him bright career ahead in his profession, as well as in our highest position in our ICAI also. And on behalf of Mangalore branch of ICAI, we always wish him bright future ahead. And in spite of his very tight schedule, because we receive a lot of his programs, each and every program we are getting WhatsApp message. So I always think how this person can find so much time, and in spite of all these things, he is always smiling. That's why we say in Sanskrit, you told Sanskrit, no? Vadanam prasada sadanam, sadayam radayam sudamucho vachaha, karanam paropa karanam, yesham kesham nate vandyaha. The meaning of this is Vadanam prasada sadanam. Face is the index of mind. So the face always having pleasing and smiling face. Prasada Sadanam, Sadayam Radayam, a person who is always having soft heart and soft corner for all the colleagues and students. If anybody wants any help or support, immediately comes back. His communication is also man with not only words, man with the action. Sadayam Radayam, that means always soft hearted. Sudamucho Vachaha, who speaks also very what you can pleasing words. Karanam Paropa, who always wants to help others whenever they are in need. Yesham Kesham Nate Vandya, such people are always respected by all. That's why Dr. C.A. Abhishek Murali is respected by all. He never demands respect, he always commands respect. So let's all join together and applaud him virtually for his excellent rendition. And both couple, Dr. C.A. Abhishek Murali and C.A. Divya, both are really a couple made for each other. They are all always serving our CA fraternity, service above self. So for that, on behalf of Mangalore branch of ICAI, recently we have celebrated Golden Jubilee, concluding also last year it was Golden Jubilee founding, now it is concluding. On behalf of our Mangalore branch of ICAI, we thank you very much for your time and disseminating your abundant knowledge with our participants. Thank you very much. God bless you and us all for our let this pandemic situation go, and let's all of us prosper, and let you grow as a tallest leader in our profession. All the best.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Sir, wonderful, sir. So,
Thank you, sir.
yeah. So we'll be always waiting for you to come physically. You have told that suppose the pandemic was not there.
No, both of them should come together. Both.
Yeah.
And Divya, both should come together.
So after the,
and we will arrange for
after the election.
Yeah.
Definitely, sir. It will be my pleasure.
After the election, you have to come here as a Central Council member. We'll be waiting for you. And definitely, it is our pleasure also to welcome you as a Central Council member that time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Abhishek, sir.
Thank you.
You have briefed about our students program now.
Yes, he is fully aware, and all the updates sir has received.
Yes.
He also knows what next to eat in Mangalore when he comes down.
That is what I'm most looking forward to. But that I'll be able to eat better only if my wife is not there.
So what you like to eat?
Thank you so much, sir.
What you like to eat? You tell me, sir, in advance, so we can make.
Yeah, definitely, sir.
I'll arrange one honeymoon trip for both of you in Mangalore.
Sir, I want to come to Mangalore to enjoy.
Yeah, sure. It is our pleasure.
So thank you so much, sir. So I'll just take my leave.
Yes, sir.
I'll join in the other session shortly. So that is the
Yes,
only thing. So
Thanks,
thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye bye. Yeah.
Hello. Oh. ना 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 तागे तानी ना सर तो मस्त म्हणजे कसं म्हणजे तो फुल्ली फ्लेक्सिबल असा छान